Hey folks, it's time for a channel update video, I think. And I was going to do this yesterday as of the filming of this video, but I was just wanting to get home and I had a lot of things to do that day. So it's just, well, not really interested in doing it. So here we are today. Thought I would talk to you guys in front of the camera about some things that have been going on, some things that may happen in the future. And of course, as always, looking for your feedback on thoughts so that way we can make the channel ever better, because of course, that's what I'd like to do for you guys who watch and gals who watch as well. Can't forget about you. So, big announcement that's probably not related to the YouTube channel, but it is important to note. I left my job yesterday. Now, this isn't obviously for me switching to YouTube full time. Obviously, I can't sustain that, but I am going to a different job starting this upcoming Monday, the 26th. And what that's going to mean is, well, a few different things of note, not the least of which is less commuting time. Now, with my old job, I had a 70-ish mile commute at a minimum to get to my office, and that was about an hour and a half of a drive, depending on traffic, every workday. It got to be quite enough after about nearly 2 years of doing it continuously and not really getting much reward from it. So that was one of my primary reasons of wanting to leave, because, well, if I put this into perspective here, I tried to request some like working from home kind of ability, and I know that I was an on-site person doing on-site stuff for our company at the time. I shouldn't say our because I left. But the point being is that I tried to request that sort of thing because of inclement weather in certain cases, and also because, well, I'm sort of pseudo caretaking my 80-year-old grandmother here at her house because I live here. And that's an important role that I feel needs to be put into perspective when it comes to me making a request like that. And I think that probably most employers would approve of something like that. Well, that didn't happen, unfortunately. Maybe I didn't make the request in the right way. I don't know. Either way, it just didn't work out. So I had to do something about it. Not just for the sake of my grandmother, but primarily for me, because I just couldn't do the commuting anymore. Not that I couldn't do it. It's just I didn't want to do it anymore. And another factor was because of my health, because I was primarily sitting in my office chair for like 8-9 hours a day, and then sitting in my car for at least 3 hours a day on top of that. Now, that's not always the case, but a lot of the times that was the case. And so my health took a bit of a dive, and not in the way that is healthy. And so I think with this new job, because I'll have the opportunity to be able to walk to the office, it's about 3 blocks or so from my house. So I think that's a great thing for my health. So I'll be able to kind of get back into shape at least a little bit. We'll see about that. Of course, when inclement weather hits, I'm still going to drive to the office, my new office in this case, in my car or in the truck. So that way I'm not getting snowed on, and I'm not going to get like any kind of health inclinations because of it. So obviously, you know, in those sort of situations, or if it's like extremely hot and like I need air conditioning, which is a thing that's a realistic expectation, especially when we're having triple degree heat in the summer, which we did have this year. Definitely an important thing. But otherwise, I mean, I feel like I'm just going to walk to the office because I have no reason to drive my car. Like, it makes perfect sense in that regard. And of course, things might change if I move, but we'll see, because I'll try to find something around town here first, so I have my own spot. But, you know, worst comes to worst, I move out of town and I drive into work. Big deal. It's not even going to be the same amount of commuting as before. So it's not an issue, really. So yeah, start that new job coming up this Monday as of the making of this video. So that's the 26th. And so the 3 hours of commuting is gone, which is a huge benefit to me. I have more free time to, well, wake up in the morning, but also in the afternoon, because, well, I had to drive home. So oftentimes I wouldn't get home until at least like, well, sometimes it depends on when I left, but usually if I left the office at 5 at my old job, I'd be home around 6:30. Yeah, didn't leave a whole heck of a lot of time for myself if I wanted to have dinner and all that sort of stuff. You know? And I have more free time. So what does that mean for the YouTube channel? Well, there's a couple things for the YouTube channel that I wanted to discuss, especially going forward as we move into the fall season, as summer's pretty much about to close out and we go into fall. The content is going to change in the sense that no more acquisitions, at least for a little while. I might like maybe do some, but primarily the reason why I'm not doing any more acquisitions, at least for the time being, is because of space, obviously. And, you know, I got to have space to store all the stuff that I have. And so I got to work on finding places to put things, sell things, stuff of that nature. And so obviously acquisitions are probably going to slow down a little bit. Now, I have gotten some different laptops recently, which is actually something that I don't mind picking up a few more of. I can store those. Excuse me. So I have done just that. So I'll have some more laptop content coming up if you guys are interested in that. But as far as the desktops go, really haven't been doing too much of that. So, I'm not going to go too crazy on it. But that doesn't mean that the content is going to, I guess, slow down. At least, hopefully not. We'll see how my new job goes. But the content itself is probably going to take a little bit of a change because of the, like I said, lack of acquisition. So that's obviously something that I know a lot of people loved watching. They like to see the old hardware. And it's still going to happen. Like, I'll still show old hardware on videos. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to do that. It's just, I think I want to start doing something a little bit different with the content. Something that I think you all would like to still watch, but it still involves hardware, maybe some software in there. Because, like, I used to do software videos. And I'd be interested in doing those sorts of things again, especially as wintertime comes around and I'm not going to have access to my stuff in the garage, which you guys can't see because it's off screen there. But I used to have my setup in the garage. Well, I got to start tearing that down because once wintertime comes around, my grandma parks her car in the garage, and so I don't have space. And so you got to make something do with what I've got, and I'll try to figure that out. No guarantees, obviously, but I think what I might do is I'm going to try to get another tripod ordered for my phone, and I'm going to see if I can get some kind of a setup rolling. And what I would like to do is potentially, I don't know if I'm going to actually employ this, at least for this season, but I'd like to try to start using that for some more steady B-roll shots perhaps, or maybe just so that way I'm not trying to like hold the camera with my shaky hands, because I know some people have commented about that. And yes, I hear your requests and I've thought about it, so I'll stop being lazy and maybe I'll actually do something and order a tripod for once. You're welcome. But I'm just thinking, because in addition to doing the hardware videos, which I'd like to do, would you guys be interested in seeing some more of the software videos coming into the wintertime? Now, I used to do that when I was in the dorm because it was easy content for me because I was busy doing my studies. But obviously, since I've got more free time now, things are probably going to be a little bit different. I would like to revisit doing the overviews of the Windows Longhorn builds and maybe start doing those in a little bit better quality. And maybe go back and do the Whistler ones again, although that seems kind of redundant. But for the most part, I'd like to start maybe revamping those and cleaning them up a little bit and whatnot. Now, with that, I know somebody's probably going to comment saying, why don't you get yourself a capture card? And that's a great suggestion. I would actually like to do that. I need to set up a capture system, and I'd probably get me something that's, I don't know, I mean, I've looked into some of them loosely, and probably I think an efficient one would be like one of those PCI Express like Elgatos that you can stick into a desktop PC. I could always get something external and I could rock that. I think there's probably some by Elgato there. I think there's one that EVGA made at some point, although don't quote me on that. So I'll have to look into a capture solution, because I think the important thing there is being able to display the lower resolution video, which is crucial when it comes to those older computers. I mean, VGA, sometimes like, those weird BIOS resolutions, like those weird text mode 720 by 400s or whatever. And so I want to be able to capture those kinds of resolutions. So if somebody's got a good recommendation that they can put down below, like a good model of a capture card that would be useful for things like that, let me know, because I would actually look into doing something like that, because it's all about me trying to improve the quality. I mean, I don't care how long it takes for me to edit the video. I want it to look good for you guys, and I'm trying to improve on that, of course. With the better quality camera, like in the case of the phone, the iPhone 14 Pro Max, which I'm using right now, obviously. And so I just want to make it better for you guys to watch, so that way the content in the future doesn't look so dang old. So yeah, let me know down below. I would be interested to hear your thoughts. But I'm trying to think of some other things for this video so it doesn't sound like it's too rambly on certain topics. But really, about the only other thing that I could think of is there's going to be some Discord server changes coming up. I don't know when I'm going to get around to them, but I have employed a major change. So I know for some people in the past, they were trying to get into the Discord server, but they didn't have a profile picture or social links on their profile. And I know for a fact that that's something that some spammer or whatever is going to do. But I'm going to probably lift that requirement, because our things with ban evasions has pretty much lifted up. And I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like it's pretty much done. So I'm probably just going to go ahead and lift that requirement, and I'll still do the manual verification checks of accounts. So there is still a chance that you might not be able to get into the server day one. So I, again, apologize about that. I can't make everything perfect because, I still have to protect my community in one way or another. But I will probably lift some rules and change some rules around and change some of the text categories. So there's something to look forward to. Again, I don't know when I'm going to go around to it, but we'll see. But I think, unless I missed anything, and of course I could always make more content later. I could always update everybody in the Discord server if they're curious, at least to the best of my ability. But I think for now, as far as this video is concerned, I don't want to drag on too long. So things to come in the future, some changes, some updates, maybe, we'll see. Let me know how the editing style has been going. I've been trying to put in a little bit more effort as far as trying to make stuff work in DaVinci Resolve. I'm trying to get a little better at it. So let me know what you guys think about some of the stuff that I've been doing. And with that, I'm going to get out of here. So yeah, thanks for watching. And of course, subscribe down below. I do upload rather infrequently, but you'll see the content as it comes out. And like the video if you liked it. If you didn't like it, well, then the other button works too. And with that, I'm going to get out of here. So thanks.